All right. So I know we did a lot of lore and a lot of that kind of progress, but no, there's going to be a big reveal. So, but
Turns
anyway,
out it was Father Honyo the whole time.
Well,
Turns out it was a stabbed corpse.
dun dun dun. So, Eldritch, what was your motto?
Speak strongly, and your words can level mountains.
Yep, that's definitely a point for you. Captain Sam, your motto?
Why fight when you can negotiate?
Which you did. That's a point for you. And Ada, what's your motto?
If you lost sight of me, you've already lost.
Yeah, that did happen where you killed a Zambobo, so that's a point for you.
Zimbabwe.
Okay, so in terms of the debriefing, yeah, as a general rule, like we could write a whole encyclopedia on how many times you're allowed to re-roll something. But like I said, usually it's you make one roll and then roll again if circumstances change. I'm not a big fan of what I might call rolling to fail, which is where you make a player keep re-rolling dice even after they've already succeeded. So I am sympathetic to that. But sometimes I'm an old school GM who will still often do the what I guess, for lack of a better word, I would call paranoia rolling. This is where I make you roll to look for guards or traps even when they don't exist. Because you don't know that they're there.
Yeah, because the world doesn't exist until you say it exists.
Right, and also that way if you roll and score, and also like the way of paranoia rolling is like, one thing I do like to communicate in Ironclaw is the number of successes you get is the number of the successes you get is how difficult it is for someone to deal with it. Likewise, they have to have enough dice to deal with it. So if you guys are rolling one success on stealth, you can sneak past bored people, but vigilant people who could score 2 or more successes on their spot, probably not. So one success is enough to be stealthy when, there's almost no one around. Whereas if you're scoring 3 or 4 successes, obviously most people can't even find you. Right. So these traps that you ran into today were findable with 2 successes, but not 1 success. So if you weren't skilled adventurers with some dice in this or rolling very well, you would have blundered into these silk threads and set off alarms very early. And I'm hoping that that actually informs people about the world, which is something I like to get into, which is the idea here that if they have, traps that require 2 successes to discover, that means these guys are good enough to build traps that are 2 successes. So they're not just scrubs off the street. I know that's sometimes weird in role-playing games where, you'll go to steal, 15 gold pieces, and for some reason it's protected by the world's most elaborate clockwork trap. So I hope that informs on that. Were there any other things that happened that you guys are confused about?
No.
Nope.
I want to know, okay, so we met a camel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so are they the equivalent of, riding animals?
There are riding dinosaurs. They're in the Ironclaw book. There are giant dinosaurs you can ride.
You have the book, don't you?
Yeah.
I do.
Look up things like...
people still?
Okay, so the animals are all reptilian is what I'm getting.
Yeah, they're actually dinosaurs. There's some in the Ironclaw book, and there's Acaltecules, I believe, have been added for
Horde and Ivory.
Yeah, Horde
and Ivory. Because they're a special ally gift attached to them.
Yeah, you can be an Austringer, and actually I think Austringer is whether you have the Sangas, but there's actually a separate gift.
I believe the Ironclaw ones are Destriers and Drays, right?
There's actually several species. Destriers are the attack ones. Palfreys are the nicest looking. Coursers. Palfreys are the fastest. Coursers have good endurance. Rounceys are somewhere in between, and then Drays are the slowest but the strongest. So there's a bunch of them.
Aren't there reptilian races in the game?
Yeah.
So
how do those reptilian races feel about their cousins being used as labor mules?
I don't know how you feel about apes being in the zoo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? I am personally outraged.
Right. So
it's I'm not using them as a mule or anything, and we have a lot of people very sympathetic to them in the zoo.
Yeah.
They're
so
lessers.
There's a lot of questions about how people would tree.
Hey, I mean, my first question was, do I eat my other people? So, I mean, at the same time, we all have these questions at some point.
And there is a cannibal cult. So,
What's the cow equivalent in this world?
Dreys, the giant dinosaurs.
Okay.
Or, I mean, bovines.
You eat the dinosaur.
No, you think he meant as in.
Yeah, I know, food stocks, but I mean, the actual direct translation is actually like the oxid in the bovine.
Yeah, no, there are animals like that. So,
people.
um,
Isn't that like the person who represents the no-named person who like sacrificed their name or something? It's like a cow. Anonymous.
Yeah.
The gift.
Yeah,
there is a gift anonymous where you can give up your name, and because
Yeah, but the example character is a bovine.
Yeah.
It also took me forever to realize it's a woman.
Yes, she does not conform to gender norm. She's anonymous.
Yes, she has breasticles.
She has her chest wrapped up, so because she's a fighter. So, yeah, she's the punching character, anonymous. So, all right. Well, everybody participated in the debriefing, so that's a point.
Yo.
We're getting very close. I think also I want to mess with the editor sometime in the coming future and actually make some maps because I haven't tried to do that. I've been very busy. For those of you following along, Horn and Ivory has released the beta in digital. People keep asking, if anyone's listening to this, people keep asking me, we're waiting for color proofs. We had, I was mentioning before we started streaming that, we have to send this in and get it color proofed. I could talk at length at how printing works. Plus, also, we're fixing one or two minor typos, and there's still one or two minor changes. But we did release, so thanks to everybody who's got that, and it is available for sale. If you do buy the digital version of Horn and Ivory, it will upgrade automatically to the full release version once that is available. But the game is completely roleplay complete at the moment. Like all the rules are in there, all the locations are in there. So I'm very excited because as you can see, I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I hope you are too.
Yep.
I'm selling back Insider of Order of St. John.
Okay, screw those guys.
Yeah. That puts me at 9. So next session I will have Skulker after I get at the end.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah.
All right, I've got some things I need to fix and get back to work on these things, and I promised Theta a couple things. Thanks for everybody for hosting it.
Thank you for running it.
I'm glad we got through the weird things. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and poke at the tile editor. It's been a while since I've done a good map, and I love maps.
Yeah,